In this episode, we examine a controversial and often debated subject, the status of women in Islam according to the Quran. And many critics of Islam point to the certain passages that appear to place women in a subordinate role to men, including issues surrounding testimony, inheritance, marriage, authority, and discipline within the household. Of these passages have sparked debates among scholars, believers, and critics for centuries. In this video, we take a closer look at what the Quran actually says about the relationship between men and women. We also explore another question that often appears in debates between Christians and followers of the Nation of Islam. Some teachers within the Nation of Islam have made statements suggesting that Muhammad was a white man. If that were true, it would raise a serious question. If Muhammad was white, how does that fit with the Nation of Islam teaching that the white man is the devil? Is this a contradiction in theology, or is there another explanation? So in this discussion, we examine these questions openly and compare them with biblical teaching and historical context. Now, here's Pastor Price.
You are going to be surprised. I guarantee it. Let's see what the Quran has to say about women. Somehow I got a little bit of interest there, didn't I? Let's see what Islam thinks about women. I'm going to be using the Quran translated with notes by N.J. Dawood, or Dawood, D-A-W-O-O-D, published by the Penguin Group, copyright N like North, J like James, Dawood, D-A-W-O-O-D. Copyright 1956, 59, 66, 68, 74, 90, and 93. In Surah 2, verse 22, it says, and I quote, now y'all sure you want to hear this, you women? Yeah. Now I have to tell you right now, y'all got to be calm. So you think you have been mistreated by American society. You think you haven't been given your due by American society? In Surah 2, I think I said 2 and 22. Incorrect. In Surah 2, verse 2 to 8, 228, it says, quote, women shall with justice have rights similar to those exercised against them, although men have a status above women. God is mighty and wise. End of quote. Uh-oh, I hear something over here from the peanut gallery. Sister said, I can't receive that. All right, let's go on. Now that was the Quran. In the Hadith, volume 3, number 48, the book of witness or witnesses, chapter 12, number 826, page 502, in reference to the inferiority of women. Quote, narrated Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, that's A-B-U-S-A' A-L-Khudri. My pronunciation, my best shot, Abu Sa'id al-Khudri. The prophet said, now remember, the hadith is the oral traditions of the prophet. So this is Jimmy talking about and quoting something that Fred said. Pick up on this. Is one of his men that walk with him is quoting what the prophet said in his presence. Okay, get this now. Get this now. narrated, quote, narrated Abu Sa'id al-Khudri. The prophet said, quoting the prophet now, isn't the witness of a woman equal to half of that of a man? End of quote. The woman said, yes. He, the prophet, said, this is because of the deficiency of a woman's mind. So you women didn't know that you were deficient. Now Jesus makes you equal with men. Muhammad tells you you're deficient in your mind. How do you like that, ladies? Now, here's what the Bible has to say about it. Go to Galatians chapter 3. Galatians chapter 3. This is the Bible now. Galatians chapter 3, verse 28 says, there is neither Jew nor Greek, there is neither slave nor free, there is neither male nor female, for you are all one in Christ Jesus. But apparently, Allah told Muhammad that the female creature that Allah had created is deficient mentally compared to a man. In other words, that's what it amounts to. Did you get that? Okay, all right.
At some point, we also have to ask a deeper psychological and social question. Why would any woman willingly accept a position where she is considered less authoritative, less credible, or subordinate to a man simply because of her gender? For some women, the answer may be faith and tradition. They might believe these roles are divinely assigned and therefore honorable. But for others, critics argue that these structures can contribute to low self-esteem and diminished personal value, especially in societies where women are discouraged from questioning authority or interpreting religious texts for themselves. This raises an important conversation about self-worth, identity, and religious belief. Does Islam elevate women, or does it sometimes place limits on them? And that's a question every believer has to wrestle with personally. If you're a woman, can you honestly say being of the Islamic faith is for you? Does it promise for you like it does for a man in the afterlife? A man is promised many virgins, albeit it is a promise predicated on the carnality of the flesh. But what of you, the woman? Where are your virgins? And I've been to Oman and Bahrain, and I've seen where the women are subjected to walking 5 paces behind the men and having to wear black and the men wear white, especially on scalding hot days. And where a woman can be raped, but it will always be the testimony of the rapist over the woman who was victimized. Sure, that's what you want, right?
I have another question for you. I mentioned it a little bit before, but did you know that Muhammad was white? Now, not European white, obviously, wouldn't be Scandinavian white, but he wasn't black. He was white. Now, I'm just going to use the words that are in the book, because I never met the man. I don't know if he was green. Okay, but this is what they said in their book. See, I'm telling you, don't put something in print and let me get a hold of it. If you don't want me to study it and check it out. See, the first mistake you made was putting it in hard copy. You should have deleted it. Okay, watch this now. According to the hadith, he was white. If white is of the devil, now I want you black Muslims to pick up on this. If white, and we read that with Mr. Elijah Muhammad, called a white man devils. Anybody remember that? Yeah. Now follow the thinking on this. According to the hadith, Muhammad was white. Now, if white is of the devil, why would a black person want to leave a so-called white Jesus to serve a white Muhammad? I just ask a question. Drop your rocks. I'm just asking questions. In the Hadith, volume 1, number 3, the book of knowledge, chapter 7, number 63, page 54. Quote, narrated Anas bin Malik, Anas bin Malik. This is one of Muhammad's very close associates. Okay? Quote, narrated Anas bin Malik. While we were sitting with the Prophet in the mosque, a man came riding on a camel. He made his camel kneel down in the mosque, tied his forelegs together, and then said, quote, who amongst you is Muhammad? At that time, the Prophet was amongst us, his companions, leaning on his arm. We replied, quote, this white man reclining on his arm, end of quote. The man then addressed him, quote, O son of Abdul Muttalib, that's Abdul Muttalib. In the Hadith, volume 1, number 8, the book of Salat, that's S-A-L-A-T, which means prayer, chapter 27, number 385b, like in ball, on page 234, in reference to Muhammad being white. Quote, narrated Abdullah bin Malik, Abdullahbinmalik. Narrated Abdullah bin Malik ibn Buhaina, that's Ibn-Buhaina. See, I want to do this because whoever's going to look this up, I want you to be able to relate to these names. I'm spelling because you don't know how to. I don't know how to pronounce them, let alone spell them. So maybe you won't. Okay. Now, quote: when the Prophet prayed, prostrated, he used to separate his arm from his body so widely that the whiteness of his armpits was visible. Now, I'm a black man, and I'm not black. In other words, my color black is not as black as a black person can be. And when I take a shower and I'm putting my deodorant on, yeah, believe it or not, I do use deodorant. Anyway, when I put my deodorant on, I got to have my upper arm. My arm not white. Ain't white nowhere out here. The only thing that's somewhat white are my fingernails, but up here under my underarm, ain't white. Only folk that have white underarms are white folks. I'm just me, hey, Listen again. Remember now, let me go back and read this. Quote, narrated Anas bin Malik. While we were sitting with the Prophet, in the mosque, a man came riding on a camel. He made his camel kneel down in the mosque, tied his forelegs, and then said, quote, who amongst you is Muhammad? End of quote. At that time, the Prophet was sitting amongst us, his companions. So this is not hearsay. Leaning on his arm. We replied, quote, this white man reclining on his arm. The man then addressed him, O son of Abdul Muttalib. End of quote. In the Hadith, volume 1, number 8, the book of Salat, which is prayer, chapter 27, number 385b, page 234, quote, narrated Abdullah bin Malik ibn Buhaina. When the Prophet prayed prostrated, he used to separate his arm from his body so widely that the whiteness of his armpits was visible. End of quote. In the Hadith, volume 1, number 8, the book of Salat, prayer, chapter 12, number 367, page 2 2:4. Quote, narrated Abdul Aziz, that's Abdul-Aziz. Anas said, S-A-N-A-S, Anas said, quote, when Allah's messenger invaded Khyber, that's Khaibar, we offered the, now I ain't even gonna try this one, it's F-A-J-A, F-A-J-R, that's a certain kind of prayer. We offered the F-A-J-R prayer. There, quote in brackets, early in the morning, when it was still dark, the prophet rode and Abu Talha, that's A-B-U-T-A-L-H-A, rode too. And I was riding behind Abu Talha. The prophet passed through the lane of Khyber quickly, and my knee was touching the thigh of the prophet. He uncovered his thigh, and I saw the whiteness of the thigh of the prophet. End of quote. While I was putting my deodorant arm and looking at my black underarm, I also noticed in the mirror that my thighs were the same color as my face. Just a little slight lighter, but in the same color. They weren't white. So I don't know how your thigh could be white unless you white. Well, I tried to stretch this, but my time is gone. We walk by faith, not by sight.
In the end, the discussion about women in Islam is part of a much larger conversation about religion, authority, and human dignity. Some Muslims believe that the Quran actually honors women within a structured family system, while critics show these same structures place women in a secondary role to men. And what is clear is that these passages continue to generate debate across the world. But every person, man or woman, has to ultimately ask a fundamental question. Does my belief system affirm my value, my dignity, and my purpose as a human being? Now, for Christians, the Bible teaches that men and women were both created in the image of God and both stand equally in need of redemption through Christ. And understanding these differences between belief systems is important, not to create hatred, but to encourage truth, clarity, and thoughtful conversation. So with that being said, continue to renew your mind. Enough said.
Now, I love this video. It's very quick. And this kid handled real quick, handled the business quick, because this little white kid was told by parents, of course, because any white child that learns racism, it comes from their parents. Parents will be like, well, where did he get this from? From you, you piece of mom and dad. It's you. It's some of these progressive parents that you see walking around. They're telling these kids this. Their kids listen. Kids, and they don't tell them. And she said, and the kid goes, you called us dirty. And the kid was like, because you are dirty.
Then why did you say that we stink? Well, you're right. How are we dirty?
And she pops him in his mouth.
Dirty.
And you can hear some kid going, she punched you right in the face.
Oh, punched you right in the face.
That's just a way to go. I loved it. And you know what? That child was taught to knock their teeth out. That was wonderful, beautifully executed. It should have been on Nickelodeon. Leave black people alone.